There we go. Sorry if I just blew out your guys' ears. 1 second here. All right, here we are. We're live. I had an issue with my microphone for a second. The power to it got turned off. My 48 volt power. That's right. It takes 48 volts. 48 volts to power this microphone. So I apologize if the camera gets a little shaky during the stream. I'm using my Brio camera, which looks fine, but it's like duct taped to the top of my monitor right now. And this monitor is huge, so anytime I bump my desk, even though it doesn't look like the desk is moving, there's always that little bit of movement, and it leads to some, as you can see here, a little wobble with the monitor. So it is what it is. The reason I'm not using my main camera, and I can't show you what it is, I have things set up for tomorrow. The Xbox Series X, baby, launches tomorrow. So I have a camera. My main camera right now is on the desk in a down position, so I could show you guys when I'm tearing apart the X. You can watch me do it as I'm talking to you guys and checking out the chat. And then my other camera that I'm going to be using with my phone. That's going to be the main shooter. That's going to show you the main shot of me in the system with my better camera that focuses better, shooting down at the actual system. Is already wired up and ready to go to be set up to shoot over here. So it's going to be a kind of crazy stream tomorrow. I do not have a time yet on that Xbox Series X stream. I'm hoping to do it during the day. The problem, obviously, with doing it during the day is my children. I can't guarantee that I could get everything done in the time slot that I want. So it's looking like tomorrow's stream with the Xbox Series X in person is going to end up being tomorrow night. I just want to point that out. I have a live stream I'll be doing tomorrow night where I will be not only unboxing the Xbox Series X, which means, yes, it's going to sit in my office all day without me doing anything with it. Lame. Anyways, I'll be unboxing it. I'll be hooking it up for the first time, making sure it runs, stick a disc in it, make sure that's working. I might even grab an old Xbox disc, 'cause I think I still have like NBA 2K19 up there or something. I could pop in there just to see if that works right, which it should. And then we'll be tearing apart the system live on stream as I put liquid metal thermal paste on it, and might be the first person in the whole world to do it. I don't know. We'll find out. If I am the first person in the whole world to do it, I'll probably clip out some stuff, edit it together, release it as a separate video as, hey, the first Xbox Series X that's been liquid metal cooled in the world. And I'll talk about the benefits of liquid metal cooling, the downfalls of liquid metal cooling, and why you should or shouldn't do it to your system. Obviously, how hard it is to tear apart the X, because this will be my first time tearing it apart. And yeah, hopefully I don't break it. I will be very sad if I break it. I'm pretty confident in what I'm doing and my ability to do it. Otherwise, as always with liquid metal, or even tearing apart a system, you should never tear apart a system, a piece of electronic equipment, if you are not comfortable doing so, because you void all sorts of warranties when you do it. So, yeah. That being said, how are you guys doing today? I will be doing a giveaway at the end of the stream, so no point in asking about it now. It's going to be at the very end of the stream, and it's just going to be for some digital currency, whether it's an eShop gift card, a PlayStation 1, an Xbox, whatever. It'll be your choice. It's user choice today on that. Also, you'll want to be sure to check out that live stream tomorrow when I'm doing the Series X stuff, because I'll be doing probably some Xbox-related giveaways during that. Nothing huge, of course, because as you see, I am fundraising down here for a PlayStation 5. So obviously, I'm not exactly super cash rich right now, as I'm trying to raise some money to get one of those in the studio. So, and you might be wondering, why did you pay off the X and not a PlayStation 5? I tried to get a PlayStation 5 pre-order in, but because of the way Sony messed up the pre-orders and the way the retailers messed up the pre-orders, I was unable to successfully get a pre-order in for PlayStation 5, whereas I was able to get in 3 pre-orders for Xbox Series X. It was much easier for me to pre-order that than it was to order the PlayStation 5. So it is what it is. I only have one. I only kept one of my pre-orders, but yeah, and I'll be picking that up tomorrow, and we'll be doing that whole stream thing and all that jazz. So yeah, Willie, otherwise I would have already had that, and I probably wouldn't have the X then. I'd be fundraising for the X, but I was able to get the X pre-order in, couldn't get the PlayStation 5 pre-order in, so that's what we're working with for this week. Yeah, so I want to get the PlayStation 5, just don't have the money because thanks YouTube. YouTube, you know, for those who don't know, you guys are all bots according to YouTube, so that's just the way it is. Lost out on $4,000. We move on with our day. So yeah, fundraising for that PlayStation 5. Now, it is launch week for these platforms. Tomorrow, the big day for Xbox, and probably really a big day for Assassin's Creed Valhalla because that's kind of the showcase game for the Xbox Series X. And I can confirm to you right now, I will be picking up Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So there is that. So I will have that game. I'm going to get that physically because it's not available on Game Pass, obviously. So I will get that physically because just to have a physical game, a physical next-gen, quote-unquote next-gen game, it's cross-gen, to test out with the platform, along with, obviously, you know, I got my copy of NBA 2K19 back there with Giannis on the cover I could throw in there just to see how last-gen games work on it. Obviously, that game's not going to have any next-gen upgrades. In fact, NBA 2K21 is really weird. If you have a current-gen version of the game, it'll obviously run on there, but you won't get any of the next-gen upgrades. You got to buy a new one, or you got to buy the Mamba edition, which it's dumb the way that they did it. But you know what? That's 2K just raking the money. Shouldn't really be too bad. Anyways, if you'd like to help support the channel and get us up to a PlayStation 5, check out that Streamlabs donation link. That is the link that adds to this total here. Otherwise, you can obviously super chat and all that jazz. If you feel like it, get questions in. We're going to talk a lot in this stream about PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. A little bit of Age of Calamity because the previews came out for that today. And then tomorrow is going to be a ton of Xbox stuff because we're going to have a live stream in the morning because I'll be picking up an Xbox Series X in person. My Series S pre-order has been upgraded to an X, so I will be picking it up in person, but GameStop told me I need to be at the store about 2 to 3 hours before they open if I want to ensure that I'm the one that gets it. And it's not because I have to wait in a line, like I need to be at the front of the line, but they might be opening their store early, and if they do that, I need to be there. Because if they open their store early and I'm not there, they will give my X to somebody else, and I will be stuck with my S pre-order. So kind of shitty that that's what they're doing to me, that they're upgrading my pre-order, but I still kind of have to be there and fight for it. Kind of weird. I don't know why my GameStop's doing that. Never had them do this to me before, but I'm not going to complain that they're giving me an X as long as I'm there when it opens. So I will be live streaming from my phone as I literally sit outside GameStop and do that. So that's kind of a thing that's happening. And 1 second, I just remembered I have to go do something. I had to switch some laundry quick because our masks are in the laundry and I need to make sure they're dry for tomorrow and for Yulia to go to work today. So I'll be right back. No music. Just enjoy. See what you could spot in the background. Play a little game of I Spy. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Had to get the mask in the dryer. I totally forgot that Yulia leaves for work in like 20 minutes, so had to make sure they got in the dryer quick. So she's good to go. She didn't go to work last week. She was sick. Wasn't COVID. She's all better now. So wanted to make sure those all got clean because we were wearing those while she was sick. So, all right. Thank you. We got a $5 donation from Jay Lowe for Mr. Pumpkin. Someone spotted little Mr. Pumpkin back there. Heck yeah. All right. So thank you so much for that, JLo. I appreciate it. Supporting the channel, supporting Mr. Pumpkin. So, you know what? The PlayStation 5 is really for Mr. Pumpkin. Tell you what, if we somehow fundraise for that PlayStation 5, Mr. Pumpkin will review the PlayStation 5. I don't know how I'm going to voice him yet. Because it can't be my voice, right? It's got to be something unique. But I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. But Mr. Pumpkin can review the PlayStation 5. Wouldn't that be great? All right. So that's my plans for Series X tomorrow. So I'll be live streaming from my phone outside of GameStop waiting for it. Hopefully, if they let me carry the stream into the store. I don't know if they will, but if they let me carry the stream into the store, I will then, make a purchase. I'll have to ask management while I'm sitting there with the phone when they show me like, hey, I'm live streaming. Can I live stream myself getting the Series X? That'd be great. If not, oh well. But I'll try to do that, and then I'll have another live stream tomorrow. There'll be a different video during the day, of course. I'll get something out I'll try to get something out that's not Xbox related, unless there's like huge news around it during launch, which there might be. I'll try to get some Nintendo news or something out. For PlayStation 5's launch, obviously I won't be having a exact live stream picking up the PlayStation 5 since I didn't get a pre-order in. Nor will I have like a live stream of tearing that one apart and reapplying liquid metal since it already has liquid metal on it. But that's kind of a thing where I got to figure out what I want to do for PlayStation 5 launch. Maybe we'll just do a general live stream for it where you guys that might have picked it up can tell me about your experiences with it or something. I don't know. Or maybe we'll just ignore it. I don't want to ignore the PlayStation 5 launch. It's a big deal. So I got to figure out something to do for that day since I won't have one. But yeah, I want to get both. Corey Bohm did a super chat earlier for $2 Canadian. Says, can we talk about the new Switch Pro LLDX? That's like talking about the Xbox Series C. Mr. Pumpkin be making me horny. Jesus. Oh, man. Why was Brian C? Why did you time out Quake? Oh, is he repeating? He's repeating the question. That's why. All right. So yeah, Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. That's what we're talking about right now. If you guys have questions about anything else, doesn't really matter. Like Philip brings up the Ubisoft thing. That's fine because that's like their killer launch game. Technically, they have Yakuza Like a Dragon at launch. That's exclusive. There is technically an exclusive game at launch. Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's just not an impressive game visually, and it's not going to be exclusive for a long time. It's like 3 months or 6 months or whatever it is, and then it will be on PlayStation 5. So it's not really a true exclusive, a launch exclusive, I suppose. As for the Ubisoft game being a showcase game at launch, the thing is, Assassin's Creed's kind of turned a corner. I don't think it's bad to have Assassin's Creed as a featured game at launch. Assassin's Creed bumped up their release date because of the launch of the Series X. They wanted to be their day and date. So I don't know that it's bad to have it be the showcase. It's just that it would be nice to have that in addition to something else. Plus, I think the original plan was always supposed to be, they did that deal with Cyberpunk. Remember they have that themed Xbox One X around Cyberpunk? There clearly was going to be some exclusive content or some exclusive deal with Cyberpunk. So they had a lot of things built up where it was supposed to be Halo Infinite and Assassin's Creed, and then Cyberpunk, and that was going to be kind of how they carried themselves for the holiday. A couple third-party games plus a massive exclusive. Halo Infinite got delayed. We can't ignore that did. It did. And then, obviously, Cyberpunk was delayed a whole month as well. And then, they still got Assassin's Creed, which looks great, but, might not have been as impressive as, say, hey, the first time you could play Cyberpunk next gen could have been on Xbox if things had lined up correctly. I think that's what they would have preferred is, hey, first next-gen Cyberpunk experience, buy an Xbox to get it. Don't wait for PlayStation 5. But PlayStation 5 has, obviously, the better launch games. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, you have Miles Morales, which is a cross-gen game, but is, just like Assassin's Creed, available on PlayStation 5. Then there is also, can't ignore it, Demon's Souls. I know, it's a remake. It's technically not a new game. That's kind of the criticism some people have, is it's an exclusive, but it's not new. Okay, but it still looks really, really good. And obviously, we know 2021 shaping up really well for Sony with Ratchet and Clank. Looks like it's coming next year. Horizon Zero Dawn looks like they're targeting that, or Zero Dawn. Forbidden West looks like they're targeting that to be their holiday game. And hey, the first one sold over 10 million, so that's nothing to scoff at. And I think there was a few, like 2 or 3 other games they had slated that were exclusive for next year. So Sony's trying to kill it in year one. Xbox, Halo's coming next year. I don't know what else we're getting. I mean, Hellblade maybe, because that's the first game we saw, so I would assume Hellblade will be ready in 2021. So I don't know. Sony, like Microsoft bought up a bunch of studios, but we have yet to see those games and when those games are coming. Like the new Fable game, that doesn't seem like that's next year. So we'll have to see what Microsoft has to offer. They're the ones that had the most to prove with exclusives. But when it comes to third-party games, they're both going to have all of them, and we have yet to see which. Do games perform better on the X or better on the PlayStation 5, or do they perform the exact same? That is something we don't know yet. Even in all the reviews, out of all the reviews that exist out there, the reviews of PlayStation 5, the reviews of the Xbox Series X, they're not allowed to talk about any of the new games that are coming, such as Assassin's Creed Valhalla. They can't talk about those games. So because they can't talk about them, we're not actually sure which system. Yeah, Medium. That's another one. Medium. That was going to be this year, but now that's next year. That's one that I was thinking about, Brian C. Thank you so much. So Xbox is going to have a slew of exclusives next year. So is PlayStation. And obviously we don't know which system's going to have the better performing third-party games. Like, are they going to look best on Xbox and run best on Xbox, or run best on PlayStation 5? You presume Xbox because of better specs. But who knows? Maybe they standardize it and they don't take advantage of the better specs. We don't really know. Plus, the Series S is in consideration. Is that going to make things actually worse on Microsoft's side? Because they build it for Series S and then the X. I have no idea. So these are questions that we still don't have answers right now, and these systems launch this week. It's weird that we don't have any actual new cross-gen games to compare these systems with. We just don't. We don't. It's weird. Can we admit that that's weird? We don't actually know which one of these systems third-party games runs best on. They launch this week, tomorrow, and Thursday, and we still don't know which one third-party games are going to perform best on. Isn't that nuts? Isn't that nuts? Imagine that you're getting both an Xbox and a PlayStation 5 because, you're a baller like that, like Nintendo Prime's going to be someday. You're a baller like that, and you get both of them this week. But you buy Assassin's Creed Valhalla on launch of the Xbox Series X because you're like, hey, I could play it right now, next gen. And then all of a sudden you find out the PlayStation 5 version performs better. Aren't you going to feel like an idiot? It's just weird that we don't know which one can you do that. Now, there's some other things to talk about. One thing that is going for the Series X, it is feature complete. What I mean by that is at launch, everything the system promised it can do, it can actually do. So, can you expand storage at launch? Yes, they have a 1 terabyte Seagate. Yes, it's $220, but you can buy it. You can expand your storage at launch. It's hot swappable, so you can have a Series S, a Series X, another Series X. You can hot swap that thing between all those systems, and you don't have to resync or do anything crazy. The games that are on it will just work and play. So hot swappable storage, which is an advantage that Sony does not have, and yes, just works, right? External hard drives. You could store games day one that are next gen on an external hard drive. On the Series X, yes, you have to transfer the game back to the internal storage to play it, but the transfer speeds I've heard takes about 5 minutes to transfer 100 gigs. That's nothing. So, yeah, that's a big deal that they have that cheap storage option to at least store your games so you don't have to keep downloading them. Also, they say they support 8K. They actually do support 8K and do output to 8K on an 8K television. Now, caveat to this is the UI home menu. The home menu and the in-game UI, when you click the Xbox button and you're gonna go through things, for some reason it's in 1080p and not 4K like it is on the PlayStation. I don't know why that's the case. That's the one feature that seems a little, it's there, but why isn't it higher resolution? Phil Spencer has come out and said they will be updating that so it outputs at 4K, and I assume for 8K televisions at 8K. But yeah, it's something that's there. As for the 8K output, there's not really anything that supports 8K at the moment, but it technically can output an 8K signal, which PlayStation 5 puts it on the box, but it can actually output an 8K signal at launch. Why? Don't know. So Xbox Series X hardware-wise is feature complete beyond the resolution of the UI. They gotta work that out. All right, cool. Maybe there's even a day one patch tomorrow that fixes the UI and makes it 4K. That could be, honestly, honest to goodness, a thing. Got to remember the difference between the Xbox UI and the PlayStation 5 UI is the Xbox UI is currently in use on Xbox One systems. So the Xbox One family of systems is currently using the next-gen UI. So because of that, everything's kind of tailored to 1080p. So it's possible that there's actually a next-gen day one update that's in 4K for that platform. So that could be something that's fixed rather quickly. But what's weird for Sony's platform, well, Sony has the games, as they say, sort of. There's not really a next-gen exclusive game beyond a remake. What Sony doesn't have going for it is they're not feature complete. PlayStation 5 is not feature complete. So while you can put any NVMe, M.2, SSD, PCIe 4.0 drive in it from the little ones to the big ones, which, by the way, they're all stupid expensive and not any cheaper than the Xbox Series X's storage solution. So just want to throw that out there. People that act like, oh, it's better because you have a choice of what brand you want to use and different sizes of SSDs. It's not better in terms of pricing. Price to performance, it's still stupidly expensive. Welcome to the latest and greatest SSD technology. It's stupidly expensive. However, you can plug one in at launch. It will not work. Currently, at launch, PlayStation 5 does not allow you to expand the internal storage. It doesn't matter if you plug in so-called compatible drives. They're not currently supported. At launch, you are stuck with your 667 gigs of storage. You cannot expand it at all at launch. In addition to that, you say you want to just store your games like you can on the Xbox in an external hard drive plugged in through USB. Because after all, Sony did come out and say our system can do that after Xbox announced that their system doesn't. Well, day one, you can't do it. You cannot plug in an external hard drive and store your PlayStation 5 games on it. It does not work at launch, and Sony's only statement on this has said these features will come later, which means these features were not there and not ready to go, which means the system is not feature complete. The fact that the internal storage doesn't work day one is maybe the biggest blackball of the whole thing, because why the hell would you not have that ready to go day one? Why wouldn't you? That screams rushed hardware, not rushed software, rushed hardware. You have a hardware feature hard built in to the system that doesn't work at launch. That to me is a little bit of a red flag. I don't know if we're going to come up with any other problems with PlayStation 5. A little bit of a red flag. And I think the external storage solution, I honestly think that they were never planning to do that. And when they found out that Xbox was doing it and people were excited that Xbox was doing it, Sony's like, oh shit, we got to do that too. We have to do that. So they don't actually have that built out yet, hence why it's not supported, but they will get it built out and supported at some point in 2021. So again, things to know about at launch. For the Xbox Series X, pretty much no exclusives unless you are really into Yakuza Like a Dragon, which I guess you could argue is an actual exclusive. Yeah, you're basically going to get it so you can play third-party games, which potentially at the best specs possible, with the currently best external expansion storage solution, since the PlayStation 5 doesn't have that day one. And because, guess what? Almost all last-gen games get some sort of upgrade on the system, whether it's a higher resolution, higher frame rate, or better load times. Plus, full backwards compatibility of the Xbox One, most Xbox 360 games, and about 70% of the original Xbox library as well. If you already own those games, you can slap them in. That's another reason to buy, along with Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate. I'll show you that I'm ready for that. We don't need to get into the benefits of Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate, because that's currently a benefit of Xbox One, but I've got a 3-month pass right here ready to go. So we'll be using that. They also announced recently that you get a free month of Disney Plus when you subscribe to Game Pass Ultimate. So that's kind of cool. I haven't seen Mandalorian yet, so I'll probably take advantage of that and finally watch Season 1 and Season 2 of Mandalorian. So yeah, that's kind of where that stands. PlayStation 5, on the other hand, has the most impressive looking games. Miles Morales looks amazing. Demon's Souls looks amazing. Astro's Playground makes the DualSense controller look amazing. The DualSense controller is a much bigger step forward, at least on paper, than the Xbox Series X controller, which is basically an Xbox One controller with better grips and a share button added. So if you really like the Xbox One controller, you'll like the Xbox Series X controller. Oh, better D-pad, too. Let's not forget the D-pad. That's important for some people. The DualSense controller obviously has like their own version of HD Rumble called haptic feedback. And then they obviously have the adaptive triggers. And they still have the touchpad from PlayStation 4. So they still have all that jazz. That's kind of cool. It looks really cool in Astro's Playground. We'll have to see how well it works in practicality, how many games actually take advantage of it. There's also an inbuilt speaker, too. I shouldn't ignore that because apparently that adds to the experience of Astro's Playground. The little bit of time I got to play with the DualSense controller, I didn't really pay attention to the speaker. So maybe my buddy had it turned off. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so the PlayStation 5 kills it with games. The games look impressive because they actually have next-gen games and Demon's Souls anyways in the remake. And then it's not feature complete, doesn't support everything it says on the box out the gate, but it will be feature complete someday. There will be updates in the future. And then obviously after that, it's all personal preference. Do you like the design of the Series X? Do you like the design of the behemoth PlayStation 5? Are you going to wait for the PlayStation 5 Slim? And I always tell people, unless you're a tech enthusiast, there's almost no reason to buy an Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5 at launch. There really isn't. Neither of them are offering you really anything you can't already get unless you're a massive Demon's Souls fan and you absolutely need it to play that game. There's not really a reason to buy them. I would say wait till people like me and others that do buy in early discover all of the issues that aren't going to be discovered in a week or two that media spends with review units. So wait to see what issues there are. Like just like we have Joy-Con drift and everything. Wait and see. It might be better to wait for a console or controller revision. Wait to see, obviously, until there's enough next-gen games to make it worthwhile. Now, the one caveat is, if you just want to play the games you own now, but you want them to run better and look better, go right ahead and buy these platforms. Because just like building a brand new PC and then installing all your Steam library or Epic library or wherever you get your games from, you install your library on there and all the games look better, run better, higher resolution. That's going to be happening on these platforms. So if that matters to you, then sure, go ahead and purchase it if you have the spare money and can find one. I don't have a lot of last-gen stuff, so I don't get to worry about that so much. Although I am excited about PlayStation 5 because there's a ton of PlayStation 4 exclusives I didn't play that I'm going to experience for my first time on PlayStation 5 when I can get one. Thank you so much, by the way, Andy Flo, for the $1 super chat. I see you. So that's my little next-gen spiel about PlayStation 5 versus Xbox Series X. They're both flawed at launch. They're both kind of cool. I want them both. We're fundraising for one of them. Have one coming tomorrow that I'll be picking up. What are your guys' thoughts on these platforms? I haven't looked at the chat much. I wanted to get through my little spiel. Be sure to @ me in the chat if you want me to answer any questions. So right now we're going to take questions on the PlayStation 5 and Series X. If you guys got any questions heading into launch here. I got 2 feet of snow where I live. Yeah, we're getting a bunch of snow tomorrow and then Saturday. I'm not sure how much, but it's supposed to be a lot. So I might be getting snowed on tomorrow when I'm at GameStop. It'll be interesting. PlayStation 5 is going to release with a lot of good games, like the new Sackboy. I forgot to mention Sackboy, yep. Miles Morales. The thing is, that'll also be on PlayStation 4. Demon's Souls. Plus games that are receiving updates. Yep. What's the giveaway for? You will see at the end of the stream. What do you think about Atlas putting Dante as a $10 DLC for Shin Megami Tensei 3 Remastered? I don't know much about that game, so I don't know. I can't really comment on a game that I don't know that much about. Not taking questions on anything not related to PlayStation 5 and Series X, guys. Save those questions till later in the stream. Let's see here. What's my favorite console? I mean, right now it's Switch. Between PlayStation 5 and Series X, cannot answer until they're both in my hands. Got my X coming tomorrow. We'll wait on PlayStation 5 because of Sony's anti-consumer practice. That's something I didn't bring up, but Sony does have some anti-consumer practices in play right now for people that pay attention, whereas Microsoft has been very pro-consumer. I didn't want to get too much into that. It's something I've covered on the channel before. I just wanted to talk about the merits that most of us in the United States are going to care about, and that's games and features. We're not going to care as much typically about the consumer practices, even if we probably should care more about it. Do I actually have to get a new TV to use a next-gen console? Absolutely not. I actually pointed this out on Twitter today. If you have a 1080p TV, you still get an advantage with next-gen consoles. Not only do you increase frame rate, if the next-gen console is putting out a 4K signal to your TV that's being downsampled in the 1080p, it's going to look crisper than it does if you ran that same game on an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4. It'll just look crisper. It won't be 4K, but it'll just look better. Downsampled, higher resolution is a lot better than lower resolution upsampled. So yeah, it'll look better, and you'll still get all the benefits of the increased frame rate, increased load times, all that jazz. So you don't actually need to get a new TV. I happen to have a 4K 60 hertz, not 120 hertz, unfortunately, TV that I got last Christmas. So I'm all good to go for 4K in general, even if I can't enjoy that crisp 120 hertz. Although I have this monitor here that's 144 hertz if I want to test out some of the 120 hertz games. As like multiplayer in Gears 5, Tactics is going to be whatchamacallit. Is going to be 120 FPS. So I might test that out on this monitor since I think it's the only screen I have in the whole house that's over 60 hertz. Actually, it's this monitor. Do you think Nintendo is prepared to defend themselves? I don't think they need to defend themselves. I don't think Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5 do anything about the Switch. Are they portable? Can you take them with you? No? Okay. Next. When am I going to do the liquid metal thing? Tomorrow night. I made a decision during the stream that I'm going to do it tomorrow night. I'm not going to try to squeeze it in during the day because then my kids come home and I might not be done. Whereas I could take tomorrow night after they go to bed, and if I need to do a 4-hour stream, if I need to do a 5-hour stream, whatever the case might be, however long it takes, I am going to do it on live stream. So I'm going to do it after my kids go to bed. So tomorrow night, probably around 8 p.m. because I'm going to have to do I'll have the stream. The stream's already partially set up, but I'll have to do some testing and some camera testing and make sure everything's just tip-top ready to go. Because I'm not going to be able to be sitting at this desk while I'm doing it. I'm going to be over here because I need more space. I'll have my laptop up that'll have the chat on the screen. And then I'll still have to come over here to, I don't know, maybe I'll hook up. I have a wireless mouse. Maybe I'll hook up a wireless mouse, turn my monitor, so I could see and I could switch between camera feeds. That might be something I do, so I don't have to keep walking over wires to get back over here to switch camera feeds. That's where an Elgato Stream Deck would really come in handy if I had one. But anyways, how confident are you doing liquid metal? Is there any significant risk you will fry the system on the first day? Anytime you do liquid metal, there's always a risk. How confident am I? I've never done liquid metal before, but I know all about liquid metal. So I am pretty confident I know what I'm doing, because the biggest mistake people make with liquid metal is they just put it on like normal thermal paste and call it a day. There are precautions you need to take with liquid metal that can save you from frying your system or shorting something out, and I will be taking that precaution, and I will be explaining that precaution and doing it live on stream, so you too, if you are considering using liquid metal, can do it. Now, I'm probably going to suggest nobody ever takes their system apart. From what I have seen of the Xbox Series X, it's not complicated, but it's not really intended to be taken apart. It's pretty easy to put back together, it looks like, but a little more complicated to take apart. Just like we found out that the bottom, the unremovable bottom thing, plate that they have on the bottom to stand it up is actually removable. But Let's see here. When you get a PlayStation 5, play God of War. I probably will. Yep. If I get a next-gen console, it will be my first non-Nintendo console. Nice. Never mind the huge library of exclusive first and third-party games. I don't think he wants to be plastered. Well, Brian C., if you don't think I'm doing drinks while doing this, you have another thing coming. I absolutely will be taking shots during tomorrow night's stream. Absolutely. If I can successfully liquid metal cool, turn it on, play a game live on stream on the Series X while buzzed, hell yeah. Imagine the amazing standalone video I can make out of that stream if I pull that off while buzzed. That'd be great. Yeah. Absolutely. We'll be drinking. It's a celebration, baby. Next gen launches don't come around very often, and who knows how many more of them we have to go. So we're going to be having some fun. If you guys super chat and donate and the shots and the drinks are flowing, the shots and the drinks are flowing. We'll make it happen. Sir, don't make me hit you with liquid death. Dude, you can hit me with liquid death, man. I'll take it like a champ. I'll be sure to have like a 2-liter, no, maybe like a gallon of water next to me. Yulia left. I'm like, honey, you forgot the masks. I got to call her quick. Hold on. Let her know that she might want the masks. We're all good. She had a mask hidden on me that I didn't know about that was brand new. So we're all good. Have to get the rest of those masks in the car tomorrow because I'm going to need one. You guys are going to see me wearing a Green Bay Packer one tomorrow. I was trying to get a Nintendo Prime mask in, but man, are they really expensive to make custom masks. Let's see here. What time will Sony release orders, and will it be the same for all countries? No. Some countries have to wait till next week before PlayStation 5 launches. Japan's getting it first. United States is going to depend on your retailer. Some might let you get it at midnight. Some you have to wait for deliveries if you order it online. The interesting thing that I forgot to mention about Sony is they're not letting you go in store and buy a PlayStation 5 day one. So if you were like, oh, I didn't pre-order one, I'm just going to like go wait outside Walmart all night and get one in the morning. No, you're not, because they're not going to have one to sell you in the morning. Only pre-order people will be able to pick one up in store. They are going to be selling them brand new online on day one, so Sony says. Their claim on why they're doing this is, hey, we're worried about the pandemic. We're worried about COVID. So, yeah, we are not going to let you go to store day one to buy one. I find that to be a bullshit excuse because they let you go in person in store. If they cared about us, if they're claiming that COVID's a real reason for this, and they actually cared about us, they wouldn't let us go to stores to pre-order in person in the first place, which they allowed and promoted that people do. Also, we've already seen Black Friday ads at 2 different retailers that claim they will have PlayStation 5s in the store for Black Friday, which means Sony is full of shit. They don't give 2 flying fucks about COVID, and that's why there isn't systems in stores, because they're going to have systems in store a week and a half later. They don't give 2 shits about that. What they really are saying is, we sold out of every unit that we could have possibly available on the 12th. They're gone. They're sold out. Heck, retailers took orders on the 2nd and 3rd shipments of them. Reality is there isn't any to have on store shelves because they're all gone. They're all already gone. So the excuse they're giving for, oh, there won't be any on store shelves, but you can buy it online, it's bullshit. Even if you're able to order one online on launch day, right? Even if you're able to order one, pay attention to your shipping. I guarantee it will not be shipping that day. It will not be shipping the next day, or maybe even the next day. It'll be a week before they actually ship it because they don't have them to sell. They're selling future shipments because they were already doing that. Like, I'm just pointing it out there. Sony's, oh, we care about COVID excuse, yet they're going to have them in store on Black Friday, yet they encourage us to go in person to stores to pre-order them. It's bullshit. It's they don't give two shits about COVID. They don't care about that shit. Don't listen to the little PR marketing speak they're putting out there. They're not watching out for your health. They're not good guy Sony here because they're going to have them in store literally a week and a half later. Last I checked, pandemic's not going away a week and a half after PlayStation 5 comes out. So, Quake Guy says, do you think PlayStation 5 will get someday retro compatibility with PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1? Not the PlayStation 3 because of how complex that system is. Not like Xbox does. You won't be able to stick a disc in. No. The architectures are too different. See, Xbox has been using PC architecture this whole time. Sony has not. So, plus Sony has that, what was it, PlayStation Now? Is that what it's called? PlayStation Now, where you can stream their old games. That's like their streaming service, like Nintendo's NES and SNES Online. Sony's got their own service for that. That's how you can experience those games on PlayStation 5. It's going to be through, I think it's called PlayStation Now. I don't know because I don't own a PlayStation 4, so I don't remember what it's called, but I'm pretty sure it was PlayStation Now was their way to stream old games. So that's how you're going to enjoy them. They're not going to have that retro compatibility like Xbox does because it's too difficult for them to do it. Is PlayStation 5 going to be as hard as the Switch during the start of COVID to get? PlayStation 5 was going to be hard to get anyways. Pretty much if you don't have a pre-order in, unless you're willing to pay a scalper money, you're not going to see a PlayStation 5 this year. You'd have to know someone at retail that knows exactly when the shipment's coming so you could sit outside the store waiting for it to get one. It's going to be nearly impossible to get. Think back to the Wii days, how hard it was to get a Wii. It's going to be like that. It might even be like that for the Xbox. Because the Xbox Series X, in the United States anyways, has sold out. Now, there are some countries that haven't sold out, but in the U.S., probably Canada as well, the Xbox Series X is sold out. So, it might be hard to get one of those this year, too, if you don't have a pre-order in. Probably slightly easier than the PlayStation 5, but I still think within 2 days of a shipment arriving, all the X's will be sold out this year. So, you probably won't get next-gen consoles as Denver Danger. That's okay. Drink milk. I'm not going to be drinking milk tomorrow night. Hell no am I not drinking milk. Oh, my God. Nate the next day. I don't know why my system won't turn on. Why is there smoke coming out of it? What did I do? Let me go watch that live stream. Why is my Xbox wearing a tiara? Why is it still in pieces all over my desk and my dog chewed on half of them? What happened? He's ordering more drinks for tomorrow. I have an almost full bottle of UV Cherry. I have, I think, a 12-pack of beer. I have Liquid Death still. I still have a shot of Jaeger. I might get one more bottle of booze tomorrow. We'll see for the stream. But that should be more than enough, like, to mess me up. But just to have some variety, I might get a different bottle. Something else to wet the whistle. Let's watch it with some of the insults thrown out there. I'm not into these fan wars. I'm not into these fan wars with systems. So let's not make fun of the companies, please. Do I know if there'll be any PlayStation 5 digital editions at Target or Walmart at launch? No, there will not, Grandmaster. Sony publicly stated there will be no systems available to buy in any store at launch. Your local Target has 30. Are they PlayStation 5s? If they're PlayStation 5s random games, then those are just all pre-order units. If they're Xbox Series X's, potentially, if you wait out tonight, you can get an X tomorrow at a retail outlet. Call now, though. Call right now and ask them if they have any available outside of pre-order. You can call today and find out if you want an X or an S tomorrow. You can call right now and see if whatever retailer you prefer has extra beyond it, so you know if you should stay out there tonight. Because you're probably going to have to camp out overnight if you want to get one. PlayStation 5, there won't be any at launch, so they don't even have to worry about it. Please no bad words. I could swear. 34 years old. I mark this stream as not for children. It's PlayStation Now. You can play PlayStation 2 and 3 games. Also, remember, PlayStation doesn't have PS1. It doesn't. Okay. Well, that's something they should probably add. They should probably add PS1 games to it. It is PlayStation Now, so I'm glad I got that right. So I didn't sound like too big of an idiot. I was pretty sure. For original Xbox, there's only 40 games. Yeah, I hope they update that, Charles. It's sold out in Canada. That's what I thought, Mailboy. I was pretty sure it was sold out in Canada, the Series X. Fingers crossed I can get the Series X before December 10th, Cyberpunk launch day. Good luck, John. So who won the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch giveaway? Nobody. That giveaway has been pushed back to January because the funds I had set aside for it I needed to use for bills, specifically because YouTube jacked $4,000 out of my YouTube account. So they literally hit the delete button on $4,000 that I made on my channel. So because of that, I have delayed it until I know for a matter of fact I will have a ton of extra money at the time and can easily afford to do that giveaway. The giveaway is still happening. It's just delayed to January. Now, the Super Mario 3D World giveaway being delayed as well isn't as big of a deal since the game doesn't come out till next year anyways. So, but yeah, that giveaway is delayed till January. Then we're all good to go. I'll be fully liquid in the first 3 months of next year. I'll be not loaded. I got lots of stuff I got to pay, but I got plenty of extra money at the time to finish that giveaway off. Rather than strapping myself really bad right now. I can't even buy a PlayStation 5 for myself right now. That's how strapped I am. Hence, fundraising for it. And if we don't fundraise for it, or we don't fundraise all of it, it's fine. I'll buy it in the spring for myself. Using this money plus my own, of course. Do you think there's even the slightest chance that Metal Gear Solid will come to Switch? Probably not. What happened to the third 3D World giveaway? I just answered that. Answer those. What's your opinion on PlayStation 5 versus Series X? They both have their advantages and their disadvantages. PlayStation 5 has better exclusives at launch. Xbox Series X has obviously had the higher specs to consider, better storage options, and is feature complete at launch. So it all depends on what you're planning to do. If you just plan to play your old games, get whatever platform makes sense for you. Otherwise, just wait. I suggest people wait, honestly. Giveaway delays. Yeah, well, I didn't know that YouTube was going to just take money from me when I started that giveaway. You remember I started that giveaway, the 50K giveaway, in the middle of September. I didn't know in the beginning of October that YouTube was going to take $3,000 away from me. And I didn't know in October that YouTube was going to take $1,000 away from me in October. So I literally did not know that YouTube was about to screw me over at that time. I had the money set aside, but I was on the basis, obviously, that the money I had coming in from YouTube would supplement the rest of my income I make on my other job to handle my bills around the house. Since I didn't get that $4,000, I had to dip into the funds I had set aside to pay bills. So it just is what it is. Welcome to being an adult. Sometimes things happen. But I always knew that I have a crap load of money coming in this spring, and this spring for sure I can cap off that giveaway. So let's see here. All right. A little bit into Age of Calamity now. Age of Calamity comes out, next week? Right? Next week. Exciting. Previews went up today. Looks great. Got to see all 4 champions in action. Got to see 2 of the Divine Beasts in action. Game looks great. All the previews are basically praising the game in spite of the frame rate problems. So I think most people playing don't care about the frame rate. So, hey, looks good. There's not really much else to say other than that without getting into spoilers. It just looks really good. I'm excited for Age of Calamity. It's my most hyped game of November. So, I'm excited. All right. Now, I'm going to open the floor to general Q&A. So now you guys can ask any of the questions that you've wanted to ask this whole time, whether they're PlayStation 5, Series X, Age of Calamity, Nintendo. Now's the time. Ping in the chat. Ping at Nintendo Prime in the chat, and I will answer your questions. You guys got about 15 minutes here. Okay, Ace Gamer. Let's relax a little bit. All right? Let's relax a little bit on those adult jokes, okay? How do you enter the giveaway? End of the stream. Stick around for the end of the stream. I will explain it then. What's my favorite Yoshi color? I mean, I'm always going to go with light blue because that's my favorite color. Hence the shirt, hence the Nintendo Prime logo, hence the duct tape that looks light blue up here that's hanging off of my light that's not actually light blue. Man, I got to fix that. Forgot to tag you before, but I'm asking, what do you think about a possible big Nintendo Direct coming for the end of 2020? I don't think it's happening. I'd love to be proven wrong. I just don't think it's happening. Did I play Pikmin 3 Deluxe? Nope. I mean, the demo, yes, but the full game, no. I already beat Pikmin 3 100% on Wii U. So, Moe Fernum says, I'm so mad that both Spider-Man games aren't for the Nintendo Switch. I wish that we got a downgrade version for both Spider-Man games, or at least no change to graphics or performance. Why are you mad? You know Sony owns Spider-Man, right? That's like getting mad that Breath of the Wild isn't on a PlayStation 5 in 4K and 60 FPS. Sony owns Spider-Man. They own the IP. Well, what are you mad about? It was never going to be on anything else. Sony owns it. Like, not just the game. They own the IP itself. Why do you think like Sony had to make or Marvel and Disney had to make a deal with Sony to even have Spider-Man end up in the MCU? Because Sony owns it. So why would you be mad that an exclusive Sony-owned IP stays exclusive to Sony? It's kind of weird. It's been that way for a long time. Just be happy there's good Spider-Man games out there. Denver Danger just finished the AOC, Age of Calamity demo. Nice. Light blue is the best one. Yeah, man. But I believe in Yoshi equality. What side will you pick in the Star vs. Mushroom Splatfest? Oh, there's a new Splatfest coming up? I didn't even know. I haven't played Splatoon in a while. What launch day PlayStation 5 Xbox Series X game am I going to play the most? Well, probably Valhalla. Because I'm not going to own a PlayStation 5 for a little while. And I'm going to be buying Valhalla at launch. Now, I have Game Pass. So I'll be checking out Gears 5 and stuff, but it'll probably be Valhalla. Because I haven't touched an Assassin's Creed game since Black Flag. So I didn't play the last two, so it'll be very interesting to see what Assassin's Creed is like these days. Brendan Striker says, Nate, Sony owns the movie rights to Spider-Man. They do not own the Spider-Man as a whole. Well, no, I know. Okay, they don't own they own it's something like it's not just the movie rights. They own like media rights or something. It's really weird. They don't own the comic rights, but they own more. It's more than just the movie rights. I can't remember. I looked into this a while ago. They own a lot more of Spider-Man than people realize. But they don't own the comic rights. So it gets really, I don't know. Don't really need to get into it. Point is, it's a Sony exclusive. It's not going anywhere. The thing people should be mad about is Sony bought Crunchyroll. I mean, why? I guess I don't really care about anime stuff, so I guess it wouldn't be something that upsets me. No, Marvel owns Spider-Man for games, cartoons, toys. Sony owns film rights, blah, blah, blah. Big Bird, which new console are you most hyped for? And what game on each one are you most hyped for? I mean, right now, it's Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Cyberpunk. It's third-party games on Microsoft to be excited about. I mean, I'm looking forward to Hellblade and Halo Infinite, but that's next year. PlayStation 5, I mean, it's Demon's Souls and Miles Morales, of course, to be excited. And I want to see how third-party games perform on it in comparison to Xbox Series X. And do I notice the difference? That's another thing, too. Like, okay, they might technically be a higher resolution or higher frame rate on this system, but do I notice it? And that's something I want to find out, too. Like, do I notice the differences? You know, if I get Madden for both, do I notice the differences in Madden on both? That's probably not a good example game. I should probably pick a game where the developers actually care. I don't know. Maybe Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Maybe I get that for PlayStation 5 too. And see, hey, do I even notice the differences? Or does it not matter? Don't bother with Assassin's Creed games. They blow now, says Doghouse of Horror. So, while I haven't really dabbled in Assassin's Creed games, I did play Origins, was it? Whatever was on the Google Stadia, before it was called Google Stadia beta, back in like 2018 or whatever. I did that. I did a live stream playing that game, and I had a lot of fun with it, man. I had a ton of fun with. I'm pretty sure it was Origins at the time. I had a ton of fun with that game, so I can't imagine that they're bad. In fact, the last two games are two of the highest reviewed games since Assassin's Creed 2. So it feels like people disagree with your opinion that Assassin's Creed games below right now. A lot of people think they're actually better than they've ever been, from what I'm reading. But, you know, only way to know is play myself. It's complicated. Yeah, Spider-Man IP rights have always been complicated. Let me see here. What's your thoughts on the new Kingdom Hearts game for Nintendo Switch? Melody of Memory? Don't really care. Till they give me actual Kingdom Hearts games on the platform, just don't care. Do you think the Switch Pro will fix the frame rate problems? Of what? Age of Calamity? I mean, sure. It'll be better. I don't know. Musou games always have frame rate problems. Sackboy? Hey, it's cool that you're excited for Sackboy. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being excited for Sackboy. Don't apologize for being excited about Sackboy. Dude, Sackboy's great. Have fun with it. It was Odyssey? Okay, yeah. I can't remember. I don't remember which one it was. That's the last time I touched one, and I played it for like an hour. It was pretty good. I had a lot of fun with it. You should get this free eShop game for Switch. It's called Kitten Squad. I don't like cats, so. Mailboy says, yeah, Valhalla is going to be much more like Origins and Odyssey, which are awesome RPG. Yeah, see? So. You should get the, let's see. What's your favorite game of this year? Yours is Samurai Jack. Well, I mean, it's Animal Crossing by default for now because I have hardly played any new games this year. Most of what I played this year were 2019 games. So I didn't play a lot of new games this year. I've kind of been waiting on next gen. And Nintendo didn't really give me much to care about. So since Nintendo didn't give me much to care about, and I didn't worry about anything current gen because I was waiting for next gen, yeah. Next year will be a great year for me to be like, all right, what do I really think is the game of the year? Because I should have a PlayStation 5 at some point, have the Series X, have the Switch, be able to dabble in all the different games. What ones do I really think are the, like, I'll have a much wider breadth of opinion for like game of the year in 2021. In fact, I might even do a game of the year special at the end of 2021 or January of 2022, whatever the case might be, whenever I decide to do it, just so I can look back on the year that was and come up with my personal, best games of the year and what the overall game of the year was, across all platforms, PC included, by the way. I don't want to leave PC behind. I want to do some more PC game coverage on the channel. So, unfortunately, we don't get a ton of really big PC games, but like Crusader Kings 3 that came out, I wish I would have did more coverage of that game, even if I only think 400 people would have watched the video. I like PC gaming. Not gonna leave that behind. Sackboy and Astrobot are both trying to be Mario. They don't play like Assassin's Creed games now. Assassin's Creed aren't RPGs. You'd be upset if they turned Zelda into an FPS shooter. So Assassin's Creed games, that's a really bad comparison. So Assassin's Creed games were action adventure games. Okay, they were kind of like a Zelda action adventure game. That's the way I viewed all the games. Up until Assassin's Creed 3 or 4, somewhere in there. And even 4 was pretty good, but going from that into an action RPG, they're very closely related. Action adventure and action RPG are very closely related. Going from action adventure to a first-person shooter is not closely related. So that's a really terrible comparison. People get confused with Zelda games on if they're action adventure or action RPG. Because action adventure and action RPG, the line is so blurred between action adventure and action RPG for so many people that they're very highly related. So Assassin's Creed evolving into an action RPG, what's wrong with that? And maybe it's not why you liked Assassin's Creed, but can we be honest? Before the last 2 entries, Assassin's Creed was becoming irrelevant. It was losing sales. It was losing interest. It was getting terrible reviews. Assassin's Creed was dying. And then they revitalized it with the last 2 entries. Whether or not you like the direction they took, that's up to you. But clearly Ubisoft likes the direction they took because they're getting better reviews, they're getting better sales, and more people are enjoying the games. So it sucks that it's no longer for you, but Assassin's Creed wasn't for me last time I played either because the direction they were taking it in before the last 2 entries wasn't good. You just happen to be a cat. I don't want to be a cat. No thanks. Sorry, I don't like cats. I'm probably one of the only people on the planet that don't like cats. What other character do you want to see in Smash, or don't you care? Conquer Bad Fur Day. Conquer, baby. Should I try playing through all of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition? The story is one of the best I've seen. I should try playing through. I played Xenoblade Chronicles, the original. I obviously haven't played the new content in Definitive Edition, but I probably won't get to that anytime soon. I'm just going to be honest. Yeah, Philip. Philip, I know the differences between action RPG and action adventure. It's just a lot of gameplay elements are very similar between them. So to me, it's more natural to take an IP that's action adventure and transition into action RPG, or action RPG and transition to action adventure, than to say, oh, let's go from this to a completely different genre. They both have action in their name. They're clearly related genres, even if there's differences. Of course there's differences. That's why we call one action adventure and one action RPG. It's just they're very closely related. Using a comparison like Breath of the Wild to a first-person shooter, not even close to related. Not that there aren't first-person shooter action adventure games. Of course there are. But yeah. All right. We gotta get going here on the giveaway. So it's not anything super exciting. It's going to be kind of like my last giveaway. We're going to do a $10 eShop gift card, or Xbox gift card, or PlayStation Network gift card. You guys will be user choice to enter. All you have to do is type whatever I'm about to type in the chat, and all entries will happen after I type this out. And then I will type out a thing when entries are ended. Only say it one time. If you say it twice, you are disqualified. All right? To enter for the $10 e-card giveaway, type hold on. All right. So I just put it in the chat. It says, to enter the $10 e-card giveaway, type out Fanny Pack Boy. Fanny Pack Boy. Now, the joke behind this is that used to be Eric from the Nintendo Prime podcast. His nickname back in the day. He used to stand there in the mall. He was the only person I knew that wore a fanny pack when he wasn't on vacation. And he would stand there in the mall and have his hands at his side like this, sticking out his gut with the fanny pack and just looking like this superhero with a giant fanny pack. So we would call him Fanny Pack Boy. It's kind of an in joke. Now you guys are all in on the in joke. Remember, only say it one time. If you say it twice, you are disqualified. You guys can still enter. There's still time. And then I will cut off the entries in a moment. Now, I want to note, if you do win, you need to contact me because YouTube does not have a messaging system. You will need to contact me on Twitter at NintyPrime or on our Discord server. So, yeah, that's how you contact me. And then you need to obviously provide a screenshot or some evidence of you logged in as the user who won, so I know it's really you. And then at some point today, probably later tonight, since I got to deal with once my kids get here, I got this whole cycle of kids stuff I got to do. I will get you guys all set up there and ready to go. You still have time, Logan LeBlanc, to enter the giveaway. Anyways, I haven't cut it off yet. Although I'm cutting off entries in a moment here. There's still time, Logan LeBlanc. Get your entry in. There you go. There we go. Now I'm cutting off entries. All right. All right. Man, there's a lot of entries. We've had more entries than this before, though, to be honest. This isn't record-breaking. This isn't record-breaking. Some people missed it. All right. Let me get ready to click my little bot button here. And the winner is Jonathan Sanchez. Let me just make sure that you did not enter twice because the program doesn't always take into consideration double entries. There's your one entry. I do not see a second one. You're good to go. Jonathan Sanchez. Congratulations, man. Hit me up on Twitter at NintyPrime or on our Discord server. Provide a screenshot with you logged in on your YouTube account with that username so I know it's you. Obviously, I know you can Photoshop it. I'm trying to use the honor system here. You'll get a $10 card of your choice for either the Xbox, the PlayStation, or the Switch. So congratulations, man. Now, I'll be doing more giveaways just like this one tomorrow. There'll be multiple of them, though, throughout the stream. I'll just randomly be like, hey, we're giving away $5 right now. Hey, we're giving away 10 right here. Oh, hey. Like, it'll just be randomly throughout the stream. We'll do some giveaways like this. So be sure to tune in tomorrow night for our Xbox Series X big blowout special. I'm going to try to schedule that stream ahead of time. So you guys can queue up for it. You guys can set reminders for it, all that jazz. I'm going to try to get that created tomorrow during the day, pre-set up ahead of time, so you guys know when it's coming, you know what's up, and you're ready to go for that stream. Going to be giveaways galore. There's going to be liquid metal messiness. There's going to be drinks everywhere. This is going to be one hell of a live stream. Maybe the most complicated live stream I've ever done. But hopefully the most fun live stream I've ever done. This is actually one of the tools I'm going to need for it, so I should probably stop playing with it before I break it. You guys are awesome. I hope you had a good time. I got to go. My children are home. Here's my one son, Aiden. All right. I'll catch you guys a little bit later. Peace out.